Right then, testing this stuff. Quick steel. Aluminium quick steel. So I thought about the carburetors, the one that I've butchered the top of, a fair old bit, and really I'm left with two options to get it back to where it's actually going to work. One is brazing, and the other is a form of epoxy mixed with aluminium. The brazing, that would be ideal if this is aluminium. But from doing my reading late into the night, these things, although they're aluminium, they have an unknown zinc quantity or zinc percentage within the metal. Anyway, zinc melts low, aluminium melts higher, steel melts much, much higher. So what you would do is heat up, say this, if you wanted to fill this hole, you'd heat up the work piece, and then you would add, sort of like soldering, and fill the hole with the rod. In my mind, brazing is sticking them together, but very, very strongly. Very, whatever. And welding is actually making them, turning them into one piece, turning two into one. Who were they? Atomic Kitten? No. Not that great on 90s girl bands, funnily enough. So anyway, I could braze it, create into a defile, let's call it that, a pool of metal which would then solidify, and then I would file that back flat, and really, unless you were looking for it, you probably wouldn't know it was ever repaired. But because of that zinc content, long story short, I don't know if I'm just going to melt a hole in it. So I bought this stuff, which is Quick Steel Aluminium. Quick Steel is the brand, which is an epoxy putty with aluminium powder in it. So you open it, mix it together in the same way as you would with any epoxy glue or whatever, one part into the other, and that starts the chemical reaction which hardens it and then cures it over time. So first things first, I've got to know what it actually does. So testing again, unfortunately, but at least I'm talking in this one. So this is the stuff. These are the aluminium plates that in the previous testing video just didn't work. This hole I drilled, I tapped it. Oh, there it is. This thing, that's what I said. First couple of mil of the tap is like a cutting surface. Even though it's got threads on it, it doesn't actually create the thread. You have to drill all the way through. Well, seeing as I've only got maybe 6 mil in here, it might not create enough of a thread to actually work. So I've got a couple of different ideas, and I'm going to test them on this piece of aluminium, which I cut. Anyway, out of bounds to one such as I, couple of holes, and then we'll start filling them, because that's the plan. That is the plan. I don't know where to put them. I suppose we could put them in series. Oh, like butter. Like butter. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Just I knew that was going to happen. I just let go of it. Is that the drill bit? No way is that the drill bit. I'm sure that went flying. Oh, well, that's really gone now, if that is the drill bit. How are you supposed to get it back in? Certainly wasn't the drill bit. There's the drill bit. I knew when I let go that I should have just turned it off, but I wanted to see what happened, really. Anyway, onward. Continue ever onward, ever onward, ever onward. This is quite an interesting drill press, to be honest. My dad got, and Korean. I think it cost him 120 quid, and God, has it done some work. It's really put in a shift. It's good. It's really good. You change the belts to make it faster or slower based on how big the wheels are inside. It's good though. It's good when you hold on to stuff and not be a grub. There you are, see? Simple as that. Let the drill bit cut through. I thought I'll do a series more because I've got to mix up a load of it anyway, and if I'm going to drill and tap them, as I said in a previous video, I want to be an expert, and so I'll do more than the amount that I said. There we are. This stuff, incidentally, is really sharp. The swarf, it's called. And it's really sharp. And so if you have any lying around with animals walking around and stuff, just make sure you, I mean, I'm not going to, but make sure that you do what I just said. Anyway. A scroll. It's appreciated. Thoroughly clean and roughen bond area. Twist or cut off desired amount of putty and reseal remaining putty. Thoroughly and aggressively knead putty until it is free of black streaks and it becomes a uniform colour. This will start the hardening process and the putty will start to become warm. Work and press mixed putty firmly into repair area to ensure good adhesion. Repairs should be in place before the hardening begins, usually 2 to 4 minutes. Can be drilled, filed, tapped, machined, etc. 1 hour after application. For a smooth surface, hand rub with water or use a damp towel. A damp tool, it says, but towel is probably, For underwater applications, work the mixed putty forcefully into the repair area and hold until adhesion begins to take effect. It sets slower underwater. Wash hands with soap and water when repairs are completed. Warning: causes skin irritation, may cause an allergic skin reaction, causes serious eye irritation. And then there's a load of bump about who you should call. They should put that warning before the instructions, because you follow the instructions. So you're there, happy days, let's get it done, blah, blah, blah. Then you read on. Get to the last point, go a bit further. Oh, by the way, grab your ankles and think of England. I'm actually in Wales, so think of wherever your local area is. Ah, right, look at that. So that's the A part, for example, and that's the B part inside. So once you've mixed those together, so like an epoxy, which comes in 2 tubes or whatever, I don't know how much we're going to need here. The whole thing's probably going to go hard anyway. So, does it matter? You've got to test these things, haven't you? You've got to test them. Most tests end in disaster anyway. It smells like a barbecue on an industrial estate, like where they fix cars, or yeah, that's what it smells like, with a little bit of burnt hair. That's what I'd say. That's what I would say. Oh, it's quite soft. Oh, how are you supposed to do this in this? It's too sticky. Be all right. Be all right. Might go wrong. Oh! Oh, nearly ate some then. I was so fast. What does that smell like? Radiator. Bleeding a radiator. That's what it smells like. Yeah. Yeah, a smell that's horrible, but you quite like. That's kind of what it's like. I think it's like radiator water. So you mash it all together like this. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. From my Warhammer days with green stuff, those who know will agree with me here, turning it into a bit of a spiral like that, well, you know, twisting it and then squashing it together, you get a faster mix. Just a little word to the wise. I mean, it says it causes skin irritation. It's irritating me with these gloves, so I don't know what's worse. How much skin do you need? It is getting warm, but then again, the stuff I used to get from Antics in Cardiff, which is still there, I think, used to get warm, but that could be from being smushed a load. It never irritated my skin, but you never know with sort of anything to do with like hobbyist stuff. Be fine, wouldn't it? Because kids are supposed to use it, but with anything to do with like an industrial application, you're probably going to get some sort of cancer. Surface is not milled clean and roughened up or whatever, but the inside's just been drilled, so for this test I'm chucking it in. It's got the second plate underneath, so it's not going to sort of overfill and just keep filling up. I wouldn't have thought. Oh, there you are. Oh, that one's a bit shit. So, see if you can see. So it's kind of protruding a little bit. But I would say that's that. If it turns out to be really tough, I have the old 40 grit flap wheel on one of the grinders, so I'll just smash it off. There's a bin down there. Anyway, Adama.